This is your place for everything you need to know about Lake Forest football, soccer, and more. Now it's time for your host of the Lake Forest College Sports Zone, Cam McGuire.
It's that time of the week again, and how are we doing, Forester fans? As always, your host, Cam McGuire, with you of Lake Forest College Sports Zone. Glad to have you watching episode number 5. The Lake Forest College football team, they finally traveled on the road for the first time this season. It would be 400 miles to the Twin Cities, where they found themselves on the campus of McAllister College, 46 degrees and cloudy for the kickoff. The Scots up 7-0 after scoring on the first possession of the game, but the Foresters answered with a touchdown of their own when Jagan Cleary connected with Andrew Siren for a 7-yard touchdown. Siren's first touchdown as a Forester. Fast forward to the second half, all tied up at 14, and just a minute and 43 seconds into the half, Cleary finds John Rawl down the right sideline, giving the Foresters the lead 21-14 on the 34-yard hookup. Just under 7 minutes in frame number 3, Foresters marching their way down the field, but Cooper Tunak showing off the vertical, pulling down his first interception. Jagan Cleary had not thrown a pick in his last 179 pass attempts. On the ensuing drive, Cody Petrich would complete his second straight 16-yard pass to Jack Strybeck, this time for 6 points. The extra point was good and tied it all up at 21. Forester offense goes 3 and out, and all it took was 5 plays, 41 yards, and 2 minutes for the home team to pull ahead on Petrich's 4th touchdown toss of the day. Foresters get the ball on their own 22, down 28-21. A 27-yard dime from Cleary to Rawl puts the Foresters on the other side of the 50. Then a costly 15-yard face mask penalty assessed to the home team, and 3 plays later, Alex Adams bulldozes his way into the end zone. So it's 28-27 in favor of the home team now with 3:35 to play. And the play of the game would come from sophomore Jared Borney, as he is able to block the PAT and deny the Foresters from tying the game. McAllister was able to eat away the clock the rest of the game with just over 3 minutes to play. And unfortunately for the Foresters, that blocked extra point would prove to be the difference as they fell 28-27. Their overall record now 2-2 on the season. Let's take a look at it by the numbers. Both teams were just south of 50% on third down conversions. McAllister held the edge in offensive yards, 435 to 355. But look at this. 59 offensive plays for Lake Forest and 72 for McAllister. Lake Forest was outpossessed by McAllister 15 minutes, and it was the 3rd time this season that the Lake Forest offense had been outpossessed. Let's take a look at it from the quarterback standpoint. Cody Petrich led the way on the QB side, 300 yards and 4 touchdown passes, as well as 55 rushing yards. Jagan Cleary, 251 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and that 1 interception, as we mentioned. On the running side of things, Alex Adams and Nick Edlin in the backfield with 1 touchdown apiece. Ted Crane had a career-high 9 catches for 104 yards. John Rawl, also another big game. 3 catches, 86 yards, and that 1 touchdown. He is now averaging 20.35 yards per catch this season. Defensively, Jordan McEnray, 9 total tackles for the Foresters, 5 of which were for loss, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. A career day for the Liberty, Illinois native. Foresters go back on the road this Saturday facing Knox College. It was a nail-biter last season at Farwell Field, a 28-21 win on homecoming day for Lake Forest. We'll see what happens this Saturday as the Foresters trying to get above that 500 hump. Well, one season is over for one of the golf teams here, and that is the men's team. At least the fall season is over. They have a lot to be proud of, and one player that has a lot to be proud of is Ricky Schmidt, who edged himself in the record books this past Thursday. Let's take a listen here from Ricky Schmidt.
Ricky, first of all, congratulations. A 68 4 under par this past Thursday at the Elmhurst Fall Invitational. How'd you do it?
Well, it got off to a slow start. Shot 1 over on the front 9, and after that, I kind of started getting things rolling on the back 9. Had back-to-back birdies and made an eagle, and it was good. So shot 31 on the back, and it was fun.
On the grand scheme of things, a conference-leading 75 scoring average this fall for you personally. Talk about the preparation leading into this fall season, a couple things that you worked on this summer.
Yeah, I put a lot of time into my game this summer. It was kind of now or never with, being a senior and stuff, and I really wanted to do as best I could for my team and, try and get us to get some momentum heading into the spring.
Talk about your team. Let's look at it from a team standpoint here. We touched on your individual success. You guys had one tournament win this season so far. How do you think the team overall did perform this fall?
I think we did okay. It's not where we want to be right now as a team per se, but I think we can take a lot of good things away from the fall, and I think moving into the spring we have a lot of things to draw off of.
Moving into the spring, obviously the main season for the men's golf team. What does the off season look like? Was there preparation wise heading into next spring, so you guys are ready to roll when the conference tournament comes around?
Yeah, we're going to have workouts this winter, and we have our golf lab that we're going to put a lot of time and effort into, and we have our spring break trip at the beginning of the spring, and I think we can do a lot of good this winter, and we'll be good heading into the spring.
All right, Ricky, thanks so much for your time. Once again, congratulations on that 4 under par.
Thank you.
Well, the men are done this fall until they start up again this upcoming spring, but the women are still participating. They actually have their Midwest Conference Championship Tournament this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Aldine Golf Club in Rockford, Illinois. They played last Sunday in the Aldine Preview and finished second out of 5 teams. Well, the women's soccer team, I sound like a broken record over and over again, but they just can't put the ball in the back of the net this past weekend in Iowa. They were shut out by Grinnell 1-0, and then the following day were shut out 2-0 against Cornell College. They outshot Cornell 18-10, highlighted by Susie Baca and Julia Larson, each with 4 shots apiece. But like we said, they just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net. And the women, just one game this week. It's a non-conference matchup, the last non-conference matchup of the season. They head to Kenosha, Wisconsin this Saturday to take on Carthage College. That's how the women have been doing. What about the men? Well, they also traveled to Iowa last weekend, just like they did last season. They had a very dramatic win in double overtime against Grinnell last year, 5-4. How would they fare this year? Fast forward to the 14th minute, Lake Forest down 1-0, but Sal Gloria with the penalty kick, and he's able to beat the goalie, finding the bottom right corner. Still in the first half, tied at 1, 14 minutes later, after missing the last 3 games due to injury, Lucas Guy with an absolute rocket outside of the box, giving the away team a 2-1 advantage. Now in the 84th minute, you think the first goal was pretty? How about once again outside of the box? A 2-goal game for Guy and called a 3-1 victory for the Foresters. They fell the next day to Cornell, a score of 2-1. Jacob Opiala with the lone goal. He assisted on both the Guides goals the day before. Just like the women, the men's team, one game this week. They're going to travel to Green Bay, Wisconsin on Saturday to take on Midwest Conference opponent in St. Norbert College. The volleyball team opened Midwest Conference play this last Saturday, and the record in conference play 1-0 after taking down Knox College 3-0, improving their overall record against the Prairie Fire 24-6. Had it been at home in a week, and this past Tuesday, they would take on Carthage College, looking to snap a 7-game losing streak. We head inside the gym for this one, and we start in set number 1. Foresters off to a slow start as they found themselves down 10-2. Lake Forest was able to grab 5 of the next 6 points and eventually even up the score at 14 thanks to this ace from Isabel Donnelly. ACE. You heard it here, Olivia Dreves with back-to-back aces, giving the lead to the home team 23-19, and it would be a kill from Grace Larson, giving the Foresters set number 1 25-20. Carthage took set number 2, and my oh my did Lake Forest respond well after that. Foresters get off to a huge lead, 8-1 in set number 3. But wait a minute, Carthage gets within 1 at 11-10 and on an LFC attack error to make things interesting. The Lady Reds kept fighting, closing within 1.5 more times in the set, the last one right here at 24-23 on a Forester ball handling error. Isabel Donnelly, her 6th kill of the set, would give the advantage to Lake Forest 2-1. But after the Lady Reds easily took set 4, 25-16, the Foresters would be headed to their 8th fifth set match of the season. The final set was back and forth from the beginning. Carthage tied it up at 7 on a kill from Kalia Johnson. They would grab 8 of the next 12 points, and the Foresters' 29th attack error of the night would give them the short straw, falling for the 7th time in 5-set decisions. Their overall record now on the season, 8-11. Obviously, they've dropped 7 5-set matches this season. Last year, they only played in 5-set matches, and the year before, also only 5. The women are 1-0 in conference play, and on this Friday, they have their Redout game, and then they will also play at home on Saturday. Well, that's all the action we're going to bring you this week inside Lake Forest College Sports Zone. As always, stay up to date with Lake Forest College athletics at GoForesters.com. For myself, Cam McGuire, Go Foresters.